Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see how we can add login feature to our application with Android best practices. If you are not familiar with the best practices, check out our other videos on Android best practice in this video series. First, let's see what we are going to do in this video. We are going to create a login screen. We are going to have an email field and a password field, and we are going to have a login button. When user enters valid email address and a valid password, we are going to enable the login button. Then we are going to use Jetpack architecture components, and we are going to use Hill for dependency injection, and we are also going to write unit and instrumented test cases. Before moving forward, if you haven't checked our previous videos on MVVM architecture pattern and dependency injection, I recommend you to check out that video first to have a better insight. Now let's take a look at the architecture diagram. You can see that modules are separated and each module depends on modules one level below. And for login feature, we are going to have a login activity, and we are going to have a login view model for that activity, and we are going to have a login repository that validates the user input. And we are not going to use any API services for login. We are just going to use the repository to validate the user input and return true or false based on the user input. Let's start from the bottom. Let's create login repository first. We can create a login repository class, and it will have a login user function which get email and password as input, and we are going to return true only if email is equal to user@mail.com and password is equal to password. Since we are not using any API service, we are just having this validation just for login feature. Okay. Now we have created login repository. We can directly use this login repository inside the view model, but there is an issue in this. The thing is, the login repository is not testable. That means when we write test cases, we don't need to use the actual API calls. Instead, we need to create a fake repositories that does the same actions as the actual repositories. For that, we need to reuse the same login function inside the fake login repository as well, like this. In this case, this login repository function needs to be same as inside the login repository and the fake login repository. For that, we can simplify this with creating a login repository interface. This login repository interface will have all the functionalities for the login repositories. It will have a suspended function as we are going to use Kotlin coroutines, and we can simply implement this login repository interface in the login repository class. This makes the login repository testable, as well as we can reuse this login repository interface anywhere we wanted. We can add a delay to make it look like we are making an API call and show a loader in the login screen. If you are not familiar with the suspended function, please take a look at the Kotlin coroutine video to have a better idea on how and what is coroutines and how we can implement that and what is a suspended function. We will talk about this fake login repository later in this video while we are writing test cases. Now we have created login repository. Next, we need to create login view model and the login activity. First, let's create login view model. In this login view model, we are going to have three mutable live data. One is for email, another one is for password, and another one is to enable and disable the login button. And this login enable variable is going to be based on two values. One is email and another one is password. So we are going to have it as mediator live data. So mediator live data will have multiple source, and based on that we can do or update values based on this. In this, we are going to enable the button only when email and password is valid. So we have added the source for email as well as the password. When email or password is changed, the login enable button will be updated based on whether the email is valid or not and the password is valid or not. So we are having a simple email validator function, so that will check whether the given email address is a valid email address or not. And we are having a minimum password length of 4, and it will check the given password length is greater than or greater than 4. Once email and password is valid, then we can set the is login enable to true. It will enable the login button. And we are also going to have another two live data. One is for showing an error when user types invalid email address or password. We need to show an error, right? So we can have this error mutable live data, and another one is for login success mutable live data. That is, when user enter valid password, we can update this, and once it is updated and it is set to true, we can navigate to the main screen. Now we have view model and we have a repository, and we need to use this repository inside the view model. We cannot simply create an instance of login repository inside the view model and use the functions, as it will create dependency inside the view model and it will make the view model to harder to test. Instead, we need to inject the instance inside the view model through constructor. We have already created a video on what is dependency injection, and how we can resolve the dependency injection with HILT in Android application. If you haven't checked that video, please take a look at that before moving forward. Now let's continue. First, in the view model, we have to set it with at HILT view model to let HILT know this view model requires dependencies. Next, we need to inject the login repository via constructor. As you can see, the type of the parameter is login repository interface instead of login repository. This is to make the login activity view model testable. While writing test cases for login activity view model, we can simply pass a fake repository, as the fake repository are also going to be implemented with login repository interface. This makes the login activity view model testable. That's why we have created login repository interface with the required functions. Now we have created login repository and injected inside the login activity view model. Next thing is, we need to create login activity and the activity view. First, let's create activity underscore login.xml file. Inside the login view, we are going to have email input field, password input field, and the login button. Next, we need to enable view and data binding. If you are not familiar with view and data binding, please take a look at MEM architecture pattern video. Then you can have an idea of what is view binding and data binding and how we can do that. To enable data and view binding, inside the build.gradle file, you need to set the build feature with true for view binding and data binding. For data binding, first we need to set the root layout with layout tag. Next, we need to declare a variable for the view model what we are going to use for this view. In our case, we are going to use login activity view model, and we need to create a variable for login activity view model. Now we have a variable inside the layout file. We can use this view model variable and access the mutable live data to update the view and get input from the user. In this case, email and password is an input field, so that when user types, we need to update the value in the view model for email mutable live data and password mutable live data. To set it as a two-way binding, we kind of need to set it with at equal to. That denotes it is a two-way binding. When user types, the value inside the view model will be updated and the activity is recreated when the screen is rotated, and the last updated data will be displayed in the input field as well. Similarly, for password, we need to do two-way binding. And for button, we are going to enable the button only when email and password is valid. For that, we already have created a Boolean mutable live data that is based on email and password value. So we need to enable the button only when the live data is true. Next, we need to handle the user action. That is, when the login button is enabled and user clicks, we need to perform login. For that, when user clicks, we need to have a function that will be called inside the view model. Inside the view model, we need to have a login function. So this function will be called when the button is enabled and clicked. Here we are going to start a coroutine with view model scope, and we are going to use the login repository to log in with the given input email and password. If the user is valid, we are going to set the login success mutable ID data to true. If it is not, then we are going to show an error toast with user not found. Next, we need to bind the view model with the view. Inside the login activity, we need to create a variable for activity login binding, and we can create an instance for the login activity view model by using the fragment Kotlin extension. This will provide the instance of view model for this activity. Next, we need to set the life cycle of the binding class, and we need to initialize the variable inside this layout XML file with the instance of view model what we have created here. Next, we need to add observers for error mutable live data and login success mutable live data. Inside the error mutable live data, if any message is shown, we need to show a toast. And inside login success mutable live data, if it is set to true, then we will be navigating to our next screen. We also need to annotate login activity with Android entry point to let Hilt create a container for this activity, and this will provide the required dependencies to the view model. That's it. We have created the login feature. If you run the program, it should run and you can see the result. That's it. We have added the login feature. In the next part, we are going to see how we can write test cases for each module, that is for login repository and login view model, and how we can write test cases for login activity as well. If you like this content, please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. If you have any queries and comments, please post this in the comment section. Thank you for watching.